I now turn over to Ambassador Stuart Holliday from the Meridian International Centre to give his welcoming remarks.
Thank you, Edward, and good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year in advance of tomorrow. Spring is ahead, and I hope better days are ahead after a challenging year for all of us. I'm Stuart Holliday, the CEO of Meridian International, and we're delighted to have you with us today for this important celebration. As you know, Meridian connects leaders through culture and collaboration to look for solutions for some of the big challenges we face in the world, whether it's global health, economic cooperation, security, or culture. And two of our main pillars at Meridian are diplomatic engagement and culture. And I'm very pleased that both of these can come together in today's celebration. In 2018, we had the honor of hosting the Nawruz Celebration as well, with dancing and music and wonderful food from the region. And we look forward to getting back together in person. Over the years, Meridian has worked closely with many countries in the region. We have, of course, the Central Asia Journalism Exchange Program, the Media Exchange Program, CAMEX, where we work on professionalizing journalism and looking at how to strengthen the media and partner with the United States. We also have run the Afghan Young Leaders Program, where we focus on women's empowerment, among other issues, in Afghanistan, and we've done a lot of work through the years on the wonderful cultures that are celebrating today. And so it's also my great pleasure to thank Oxus for partnering with Meridian today, and we wish you all a very, very happy New Year, and thank you again for joining us.
Thank you, Ambassador Holliday. I am honoured to introduce the 71st Secretary of State, His Excellency Antony Blinken.
Good morning and Happy Nowruz. Thank you to the embassies of Afghanistan, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan, and to the Oxus Society for inviting me to this celebration. Every year, many Americans mark the start of spring together, reminding us of our connections to each other. Although a pandemic continues to prevent us from gathering in person, this holiday brings us together, virtually, wherever we may be. The Nowruz tradition is thousands of years old, but it has always represented renewal. A new year, new opportunities, new friendships, new hopes. Whether we celebrate by lighting candles, sharing a meal with loved ones, or enjoying traditional music or poetry, let us all be inspired to rededicate ourselves to our families, our communities, and to building a tomorrow that is better than today.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. We have another guest from the Department of State, Acting Assistant Secretary of State at the Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs, Matthew Lussenhop. Mr. Lussenhop, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Edward. Good morning, everyone, and Happy Nowruz. My name is Matthew Lussenhop. I'm the Acting Assistant Secretary for the Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs at the Department of State. And I'm very proud to join the Oxus Society, Meridian International, and the embassies of Afghanistan, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan in celebrating this new day, Nawruz. Millions of Americans around the world and people around the world are celebrating Nawruz today and tomorrow. It's a celebration that provides us with an opportunity to reflect on our shared values and cultural heritage. And I have fond memories of celebrating Nawruz myself with Farsi and Dari students at the Foreign Service Institute, and then in Afghanistan itself about 10 years ago. We deeply value the rich cultural heritage of each of the countries represented here today and the partnerships we have with you. This respect for the culture of Nawruz is reflected in the 89 different cultural heritage projects which we've supported in the region through the U.S. Ambassador's Fund for Cultural Preservation and the Cultural Antiquities Task Force. We also have hosted thousands of participants from these countries for exchange programs in the United States, well over 32,000 alumni from the countries that are participating today. As the Secretary said, Nawruz is a time of renewal, and we all look forward to new beginnings, especially as we get out of this pandemic crisis and move back to meeting and celebrating with one another in person. So we'll continue to look for new ways to advance people-to-people diplomacy across the region through academic, professional, and cultural exchanges and continued partnership. On behalf of myself and the Bureau of Educational Cultural Affairs and the entire Department of State, I wish the international community and all the participants today a prosperous and healthy Nawruz. Thank you for inviting me to this celebration. Nawruz Mubarak.
Thank you, Mr. Lussenthal. Now I'd like to introduce Chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Congressman Gregory W. Meeks.
I'm honored to be invited to speak at this very special celebration of Nawruz, a holiday celebrated globally by people of different ethnicities, nationalities, and faiths. I thank all of the ambassadors here for including me in today's event. As you know, Nawruz marks the first day of spring and represents a rich history of shared cultures, heritage, and values. Celebrated for the past 3,000 years, this festival is observed by over 300 million people around the world, commemorating cultural diversity and friendship among different communities, and promotes the value of peace and solidarity. It is a beautiful way to remind the world of all that we have in common. As chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, I sincerely believe in finding ways to highlight our commonality and the value of working with our friends and neighbors to overcome our shared challenges. We are always stronger when we are united. I look forward to continued engagement and partnership with all of the countries represented here today. Again, thank you for the warm invitation, and I wish you all a very happy and prosperous Nawruz.
Thank you, Congressman. It is my privilege to introduce our next speaker, Vice Chief of the National Guard Bureau, American hero, Lieutenant General Mark Sasseville.
On behalf of the Chief of the National Guard Bureau, General Dan Hokanson, and all the soldiers and airmen of the National Guard, I want to wish you a happy Nawruz. It is an honor to join you in this celebration of longer days, new beginnings, and brighter futures. There is a reason Nawruz resonates with people all over the world. We all welcome this change in the seasons. We shed the weight of the winter's worries and see new hope in the flowering trees. After a long and difficult year, where we all battled a global pandemic, we have a new sense of purpose and optimism. Everywhere we look, nature reminds us that there is always room for new beginnings and a chance to make things better. In this spirit, we share a commitment to a more stable world. We seek freedom, justice, security, and peace, and we must work together to achieve them. The National Guard greatly values the mutually beneficial security cooperation relationships that we have developed through the Department of Defense and National Guard State Partnership Program and the partnerships that we have with most of the countries represented here this morning. We build these relationships on mutual trust, common interests, respect, and cooperation. These enduring partnerships have made our militaries more capable, forged long-standing people-to-people ties, and made our citizens more secure. Let us continue to grow these security relationships the way gardeners tend to the first green shoots of spring. We are honored to call you our partners and friends, and we look forward to strengthening our partnerships together in the years to come. I wish you good health, happiness, and good luck, and I wish your families peace and serenity as well as prosperity. Happy Nawruz.
Thank you, General. Our next speaker is Executive Director of the US Azerbaijan Chamber of Commerce, Natig Bakhishov. Mr. Bakhishov, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Laman. First of all, I'd like to thank Meridian International Access Society for putting together this very important event. And on behalf of the US-Azerbaijan Chamber of Commerce, the member companies and board of directors, I would like to congratulate all of you, those who are celebrating and those who are not celebrating Nowruz in a special way. Nawruz, as you correctly mentioned, Nawruz is the beginning of the spring equinox, but nowadays Nawruz is more important than ever as we are living through very difficult and challenging times when social distancing practices are experiencing in every family by each and every single people. Nawruz bears universal values such as reconciliation, friendship, neighborliness. I very much hope and wish all of you next year we celebrate this very important event all together in person and in wonderful places in Washington, D.C. So again, congratulations to all of you. I wish you all the best to you and to your families. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bakishov. Our next speaker is Hush Choksi, who is Senior Vice President of Middle East, Turkey and Central Asian Affairs at the US Chamber of Commerce.
Greetings, esteemed participants. My name is Kush Choksi, and I'm the Senior Vice President for the Middle East, Turkey and Kazakhstan Affairs and International Development at the US Chamber of Commerce. I'd like to thank Kazakhstan's ambassador to the United States, His Excellency Erzan Kazakhanov, for this kind invitation to unite with you in celebration of Nawruz, the beginning of spring. I'd like to acknowledge all the ambassadors of the following countries to the United States joining us here today: Afghanistan, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan. I also want to thank the Oxus Society and the Meridian International Center for hosting today's event. I send everyone warm wishes for Nawruz. Happy New Year and spring. This year marks the first Nawruz celebration by the US Chamber of Commerce, home to American business, and our new US-Kazakhstan Business Council that we launched together with the Prime Minister of Kazakhstan and the then US Secretary of Commerce and Chevron's Chairman and CEO this past September, leading up to the 30th year anniversary of US-Kazakhstan relations. While the Council and the US Chamber and our country's relations may be relatively new, the 3,000 plus year traditions of Nawruz run deep and symbolize a new day of our nation's commercial ties to flourishing in the emerging post-COVID period that offers so much promise. The US Chamber is also home to the Eurasia Business Platform, which incorporates many of the other countries here today. I invite you to contact us to learn more about our business programs to further support the relationship between our countries and the United States. We are here to advance these strategic ties and realize the tremendous opportunities that can be achieved when our private sectors and governments come together. I wish all the countries participating in the upcoming US Central Asia Trade and Investment Framework Agreement, TIFA meetings, much success. The business community has contributed to the preparation of these meetings, and we look forward to supporting our countries, expanding commercial ties into the future. So now, as the world turns hopefully the corner on COVID and looks towards a spring, I send you all warm and happy Nawruz greetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Choksi. I now turn over to Chief Executive Officer of the US Kyrgyz Business Council, Elena Song.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. Honorable ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the US Kyrgyzstan Business Council and its founding members, Accor, Baker McKenzie, General Electric, as well as American councils, Coca-Cola, Borusan, Caterpillar, Guidehouse, and Visa, I would like to congratulate the peoples of Kyrgyzstan, Afghanistan, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan on Nawruz. During the time of COVID-19 and the challenges it has unfortunately brought in our nations, we naturally look for signs of hope, good fortune, health, and prosperity. And Nawruz is the time of the year that symbolizes those new beginnings. In the context of Central Asia and Kyrgyzstan, these new beginnings are increased business partnerships between our companies and the government of Kyrgyzstan, the election of a new Kyrgyz president, President Sadir Japarov, the launch of new relations between Kyrgyzstan and the neighboring states, and finally, the successful high-tech event that was just concluded in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan. We, the US Kyrgyzstan Business Group, are hopeful that our ambitions for a more robust and dynamic business agenda with the Kyrgyz Republic will continue to grow and be supported by the Kyrgyz people. We will continue to identify the best opportunities to improve Kyrgyzstan's socioeconomic situation and contribute humanitarian aid to help the republic's fight against the pandemic. American companies are internationally recognized as leaders in innovation, manufacturing, management, education, and many other areas. Our goal is to contribute to Kyrgyzstan's business prosperity, and the Council and its members are committed to working with the Kyrgyz people on making it happen. In conclusion, I would like to say that the pandemic has sharpened our sense of appreciation of what we had, what we have, and where we're about to have. May we enjoy each day, which is definitely worth living. Happy New Year, and may all our nations be blessed with good health and longevity. And we, the business groups, will work with you on bettering our nation's well-being. Thank you.
Thank you for those wonderful remarks. Next, we will hear from Philip de Leon, who is the co-founder and chairman of the US Tajikistan Business Council.
Thank you. Dear friends from and of Tajikistan, of Afghanistan, Azerbaijan, and Central Asia, Happy Nawruz. Nawruz coincides with spring, a new season where life comes back after the cold months of winter. As the chairman of the US Tajikistan Business Council and on behalf of our members, let me wish that this Nawruz celebration be one of a rebirth with COVID-19 behind us. May it enable all of us to see our friends and business partner to continue a prosperous collaboration. And let me reassure you of the commitment of the US business community in collaborating with your region. You are our friends, our partners, and we really want to see you in person again so that we can continue the great dialogue we've been entertaining over the years. So again, Happy Nawruz and best wishes to all.
Wonderful, thank you so much for those lovely remarks on Nawruz. Now I would like to hand over to the chairwoman of the American Uzbekistan Chamber of Commerce, Carolyn Lamb.
Thank you so much. And on behalf of the American Uzbek Chamber of Commerce and our over 40 members of the most prominent US companies who are working in Uzbekistan, I want to convey our congratulations and our wishes for health, happiness, and prosperity on the occasion of Nawruz. Congratulations and good wishes to President Mirziyoyev, to the ambassador, to all of the ambassadors and their families with us today, and of course, the people of Uzbekistan for health and peace. Having survived and emerged from a year for celebration as we enter the new phase of our business and personal lives. As the largest of the Central Asian trade associations representing major American companies active in Uzbekistan, we're privileged to have the opportunities to work in Uzbekistan with the people to help advance to a stronger economy, stronger bilateral relationships, and help to attract even more foreign investors for the past 30 years. We so highly value the Uzbek government's support for all of our endeavors, for our members and working through problems. And its very strong partnership, which has assured our companies in being able to, in fact, create so many win-win opportunities for our companies. And they've been tremendously supportive. We applaud all of Uzbekistan's efforts to protect foreign investors and protect its citizens during the time of this horrible pandemic. But using this opportunity, The AUCC would like to applaud all of the work by the government in mitigating the risks of the COVID-19 pandemic. Many of our members have been there throughout, and they all are reporting things are emerging, things are changing, and indeed it is a time for new life. As the earth dons her flowers and all the new growth of spring, I hope we can all enjoy it with family and friends, even socially distanced with masks on. It is a time for celebration with vigor, energy, new life. We congratulate you and we wish you a happy Nawruz. May the new year bring you health and prosperity to each of your nations. And may we all be together next year to enjoy each other for this celebration.
Thank you, Chairman. And thank you to all of the speakers so far for giving us so many reasons to be hopeful for the future, both in terms of ties between the United States and the 7 countries represented here today, and in terms of the pandemic and hopefully moving towards a more normal life. I now hand the floor to Ambassador Piper Campbell from the Meridian International Center.
Happy New Year. Happy Nawruz, everyone. My name is Piper Campbell, and I'm so pleased to be joining you this morning as the sun shines in the window. I'm an advisory committee member with Meridian's Center for Diplomatic Engagement. I'm also someone who has a long and warm association with Nawruz, which began when I dated a man with an Iranian mother and had the pleasure of learning all the traditions of this holiday. Anyone familiar with Persian cuisine will not be surprised to hear that when I stopped dating her son, I asked Nepi June if I could still come over occasionally for tahin and joja kebab. During later tours in the US Foreign Service, I had the pleasure of learning how Nawruz is celebrated in Afghanistan and by the ethnic Kazakh population in Mongolia. Today, I have the honor of welcoming the chiefs of mission from the 7 embassies here in Washington, DC, who have joined together in celebration of Nawruz and who have made today's celebration possible. I will introduce them in the alphabetical order of their countries to share brief remarks. First, I would like to give the floor to the Ambassador of Afghanistan, Her Excellency Roya Romani. Please, Ambassador.
Assalamu alaikum. May peace be upon you. Nawruz Mubarak. Nawruz means new day, and it is my hope that it will be a new day indeed for Afghanistan and the region. We take this time to honor the coming of spring and the renewal and growth that it signifies. When we commemorate this day, there is a long tradition of vowing to improve. This year, however, we ring in more than just a new season. We celebrate a new century. It is my hope that we will step into this century with the optimism and determination to craft a brighter future. We must resolve to make connectivity a priority and collaboration the mode of our relationship with all our partners, including the Central Asian countries we are celebrating alongside today. Our region is already connected through history and blood. It is time for us to be connected through economic development and infrastructure. We must resolve to support our youth, women, and all those committed to building a more just world. We must resolve to continue to foster our ties with our international allies like the United States to promote health, security, and prosperity. And we must resolve to create a century of peace and stability for us all. I wish you could witness the beauty of Afghanistan's Nawruz in person, but for now, I invite you to watch this video.
What a joyful video. Thank you so much, Ambassador. Our next speaker is the Ambassador of Azerbaijan, His Excellency Elin Suleimanov.
Thank you, Ambassador. It's a great honor to be here. I want to thank Secretary Blinken, Chairman Nix, and of course our good friends from the National Guard, General Sasseville, and Acting Secretary Listenhope. I'm also very grateful to the Oxford Society. Thank you, Mr. Lemon, for a great moderation, and I'm grateful to you, my good friend, Mr. Stuart Holiday was speaking. I'm grateful to Meridian Center. Couple of years ago, the initiative of the Embassy of Kazakhstan and Azerbaijan, we had a good event at Meridian Center. It was a Nawruz celebration. This year, I want to thank all the ambassadors and colleagues who joined with us for this event, and especially emphasize the role of Uzbekistan and Uzbek ambassador, my good friend Jalom Wahab, in leading and initiating this effort this year. Thank you, Jalom. Thank you for your efforts. I also want to congratulate everybody on Nawruz. You know, it's a time of renewal. You know, it's a time of cleansing from whatever negativity was there. So jump over the fire, cleanse whatever was negative last year. And I think we all need that because the pandemic has been a unique experience. But I hope that it's a nature's new year, it's a natural new year. So as a new year begins, as the spring begins, we all look forward with hope. For the people of Azerbaijan, that's the most important celebration of the year. It doesn't belong only to us. I think it's beautiful celebration because it shows the commonalities we have, and also the diversity of people who celebrate Nowruz. And if you look at the geography, if you look at the Turkic world, how many people celebrate it, it's very important. Also across the Caspian, that unity which we have with our friends and colleagues in Central Asia. I want to emphasize the recent agreement on the Caspian field called Dostuk friendship between Azerbaijan and Turkmenistan. Those kind of things, Trans-Caspian cooperation along the lines, transportation lines, including the Lapis Lazuli corridor. Those are all cooperative projects which bring together our nations, both in cultural and political level. This year is unique for Azerbaijan because for the first time, the people of Azerbaijan celebrate Nowruz in a country which restores its territorial integrity. We also, for the first time, celebrate our Nowruz in the cultural capital of Azerbaijan, in Shushan. Many people can come back now after 30 years of exile and return to their homes to celebrate Nowruz back at their homes where they're from, not in the refugee camps and not in the place of displacement. That is a big and a new beginning for Azerbaijan, but not only for Azerbaijan. I think despite all the pains and all the difficulties we had over the last year, that's a great beginning and hope for the entire region. And as we look forward to the future of our region, I am very hopeful that Azerbaijan and Armenia, our neighbor, we will be able to build a more peaceful region, inclusive and cooperative, and we could work together to celebrate Nowruz in the near future, maybe all together in a more integrated region and a more peaceful region. At this, I wish you everybody Nawruz Mubarak, and I look forward to many, many more celebrations. And whoever has not jumped over the fire yet, please do. It's good for you. It cleans your soul. It also leaves all the bad things behind. So please go ahead and Nawruz Mubarak to everybody.
Thank you, Ambassador Suleimanov. Our next speaker is the Ambassador of Kazakhstan, His Excellency Erjan Kazakhanov. That was another wonderful video just gets you in the mood for dancing. And I must say that I'm feeling hungry as I watch these videos and see the beautiful food. So our next, thank you very much for the Embassy of Kazakhstan for that great video. And our next speaker is the Ambassador of Kyrgyzstan, His Excellency Bolot Atunbayev. Ambassador Atunbayev, I'm just going to remind you to unmute.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. Hello, everyone. Dear ladies and gentlemen, compatriots and participants of today's event, let me congratulate you on the wonderful spring holiday Nawruz. The Kyrgyz people have a lot of different holidays, but Nawruz is one of the main ones in terms of importance, scale, and content. Inscribed in the representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity in 2009 as a cultural tradition for numerous nations, Nawruz marks the renewal of nature. It promotes values of peace and solidarity between generations and within families, as well as the union and neighborliness, contributing to cultural diversity and friendship among peoples and different communities. Nawruz plays a significant role in strengthening the ties among peoples based on mutual respect and ideals of peace and good friendship. Its traditions and rituals reflect the cultural and ancient customs of civilizations of the East and West, which influenced those civilizations through the interchange of human values. In Kyrgyzstan, as well as in other Eastern countries, this holiday is always accompanied with national games such as Kokboru, Atchabush, Erenish, and Salburun, as well as music and dances. Also, a traditional sweet delicacy sumolog is cooked throughout all regions of the country. Despite the current difficult conditions of the coronavirus pandemic, which do not allow us to celebrate this holiday in traditional way, our peoples associate Nawruz with good ideas, intentions, and hopes to overcome the difficult epidemiological situation, as well as with great goals for the future development of countries, regions, and entire world community. I am sure that the Nawruz holiday will bring great success to all people on the path of accomplishment. I sincerely congratulate all the participants of the event, compatriots, on the delightful holiday of Nawruz, the holiday of spring, unity, and prosperity. I would like to wish you health and well-being, as well as success to all our countries. May this great holiday fill your hearts with good thoughts, high goals, new hopes and dreams, bring a spring mood and joyful emotions. May Nawruz bring happiness and prosperity to every house, every family. Nawruz Kutlu olsun. Happy Nawruz. Thank you.
And I am so sorry. I have to apologize to Ambassador Kazakhanov because I realized that we had seen the video of Azerbaijan and I skipped right over Ambassador Kazakhanov. So let me at this point thank Ambassador Atenbayev for his remarks and for that lovely video. And I'm now going to introduce the Ambassador of Kazakhstan, His Excellency Erjan Kazakhanov, and ask him to speak.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished friends, it is both a privilege and honor for me to join you all at this special virtual event. I would like to extend my sincere congratulations on the occasion of the Nawruz Celebration and welcome my fellow ambassadors of Central Asia, Afghanistan, and Azerbaijan. Nawruz is a special time of renewal, reconciliation, a celebration of unity, kindness, and harmony. In Kazakhstan, the festivity is filled with singing, dancing, national games, and special foods, most notably the must-try traditional dish called Nawruz Koje. For all of us, celebration of this holiday is an important opportunity to express gratitude for the blessings of the previous year and look forward with optimism to the year ahead. We come together to celebrate the 3,000-year-old tradition to further promote our shared values of peace and solidarity. This year, due to the safety reasons, we cannot meet in person. Therefore, we're very much looking forward to enjoying today's cultural showcase program. Thank you for joining us in celebrating Nawruz, which is the beautiful way to keep our common culture and heritage alive. There is a traditional belief that people will spend their new year in a manner similar to the way they celebrated Nawruz, which is why I wish you a very happy Nawruz. Улустун улу күнү Nawruz мейрамы кутту болсун.
Thank you, Ambassador Kazakhanov. And I must say that watching that video made me homesick for Mongolia. I remember so well meeting with the ethnic Kazakh population in Mongolia and having the chance to watch the eagle hunting, which is something that's so amazing. And I urge anybody, whoever has the chance to go to Kazakhstan or to Mongolia to find the opportunity to see that. It's just beautiful. Okay, next up is the ambassador from Tajikistan, His Excellency Faruk Hamralizoda.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to sincerely congratulate all of you, distinguished participants, friends, and our compatriots living in the United States on occasion of Nawruz, the holiday of nature and human awakening. Today, I am extremely pleased to join my Nawruz congratulations to those from my highly esteemed colleagues from Afghanistan, Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Uzbekistan. In the outset, let me extend my sincere gratitude to the government of the United States of America for their hospitality and time shared with us to celebrate the holiday of Nawruz. Today, we celebrate Nawruz with our friends who have brightly lightened this event and inspired the light of our hearts. Nawruz holiday has a very long-standing history, and it is a tradition of people and nature awakening and joy. This is the reason why we respect its values, greatness, and uniqueness. I would like to particularly emphasize that during the years of independence, Nawruz has an extra birth and value and become a nationwide celebration of the people in Tajikistan. Remarkably, Nawruz celebration, along with Tajik language, is an integral part of national identity and spiritual pride of Tajik nations. This is why it has been preserved over the centuries and recognized in the contemporary world. Our ancestors used to have a good tradition of cleansing heart from grievance, forgiving each other, and rendering helping hand to destitute people during the Nawruz days. People used to decorate and clean streets, plant trees and flowers during these days, which are considered as a demonstration of a new day and revival of a new nature and land. Today, when the entire globe shows the first sign of gradual recovery from COVID-19, we believe the spirit of Nawruz need for love, dedication, wisdom, justice, friendship and cooperation, and constructive power is more crucial than ever before. The year 2021 marks another significant date in Tajikistan, the most remarkable in the history of Tajik nations. In the last 1,000 years, 30th anniversary of regaining its independence. The independence opened a fundamentally new horizon for Tajik nation. Tajikistan became a valuable member of other global community. Our water, climate, peace, and stability initiatives meaningfully contribute to the global development process. Today, I am confident these renewed prospects will be further enriched by constructive aspiration of the Tajikistan in the international arena, and invite all of you, our dear friends, to join us in celebration of Tajikistan's independence in September. In conclusion, I wish to emphasize Nawruz always called for peace and stability, kind thoughts, words and behavior, friendship and collaboration among nations. Happy Nawruz, dear friends. Nawruz Mubarak, Dostoni Aziz.
Nawruz Mubarak.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Hamrali Zoda. And it's very nice to see your compatriots with you as well, with the beautiful flowers. That's wonderful. So our next speaker is the Ambassador of Turkmenistan, His Excellency Merit Orazov.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Campbell. Dear friends and colleagues, today we have gathered to celebrate our common holiday, Nawruz Bayram, bequeathed to us by our distant ancestors. In Turkmenistan, we also call this holiday the Spring Festival. This coming Sunday, the entire Turkmen people will, as usual, celebrate the spring holiday, and the esteemed President of Turkmenistan, Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedov, will address warm greetings and wishes of happiness to his people. This year is special for Turkmenistan, as well as for many of our neighbors. We celebrate the 30th anniversary of the country's independence. At the same time, this year has been declared by United Nations as the year of peace and trust. And Turkmenistan, in this context, is spending this year under the same motto. But Nawruz itself is not only a holiday of spring, but a holiday of friendship, a call for peace and trust. Large-scale transformations that are taking place in modern Turkmenistan are possible due to the fact that the leader of the nation, introducing the largest achievements of science and technology, tirelessly cares about the preservation of spiritual values, historical past, drawing strength and inspiration from the centuries-old traditions of Turkmen people. It is the organic combination of spiritual tradition with constructive reformism that has determined the characteristic features of modern Turkmen political culture. In other words, the historical heritage has become a resource for the modernization of the country, and the development of new opportunities is based on the historical experience of the people, its primordial philosophical and moral values. The cultural and humanitarian bloc occupies an important place in our multifaceted relations with the United States of America. our countries have repeatedly held days of culture both in the United States and in Turkmenistan to acquaint the communities with the cultural values of our peoples. We have said before, and I will emphasize today, that we are deeply grateful to the United States for their attention and support in the development of cultural cooperation between our countries. In conclusion, I would like to thank the Secretary Blinken for his remarks. Special thanks to Ambassador of Uzbekistan, Javlom Khabov, for his initiative and support to make this happen. Then I am very grateful to all our ambassadors and the embassies of Uzbekistan, Azerbaijan, Afghanistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, as well as the American organizations, Meridian International Center and Oxford Society, for coordinating their efforts and making this event possible. Such joint events further strengthen our friendship and mutual understanding. I congratulate everyone on this wonderful holiday. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Orazov. And our final speaker for today's event, and an individual who I understand was so central to having this event take place, is the Ambassador of Uzbekistan, His Excellency Javlon Vakhavov. Ambassador.
Dear honorable guests and distinguished participants, joining the warm words of Secretary Blinken, General Sassevel, Chairman Mix, my fellow ambassadors, today it's my absolute delight to share with you the deep-rooted common heritage, Nawruz, the new day. And I'm so grateful to all who are here with us today and extended their tremendous support for this unprecedented event represented by 7 nations. Today, we honor not only UNESCO's recognized intangible cultural heritage of humanity that promotes values of peace and solidarity between generations and within families, as well as reconciliation and neighborliness, but also scientifically proven vernal equinox. We all share the same heritage celebrated for several thousand years, while each of us has unique customs and traditions. For instance, Nawruz is one of the most greatly anticipated holidays in Uzbekistan, a public, non-working holiday with strong ties to national traditions. The holiday, like many festivities in the US, including soon approaching Easter, is celebrated with the family and close people. Usually it can last for 2 or 3 days. So lively folk festivals spill over into lavishly decorated village streets and cities filled with spring fairs. It's also the beginning of the agricultural season for millions of farmers in the country praying for rich harvest. Another symbol associated with the traditional Uzbekistani New Year is an abundance of holiday treats. Traditionally, 7 dishes, specially cooked during Nawruz, are served as a symbol of fortune for the month to follow. So the most popular and unusual one is sumalak, a toffee-like treat prepared from wheat, sprouts, and flour. Customarily cooked the night before March 21st, sumalak is 24 hours process of singing songs, reading poems, dancing, and joy. So the perfect picture of Uzbek Nawruz. So despite pandemic, this year was not an exception. We have prepared the sumalak and Uzbek national plov just here at the embassy's backyard. Thousands of words cannot express the taste of them. And today you will be able to try them not virtually, I promise. Taking this opportunity, I extend my deepest gratitude to our chefs, compatriots residing in the US, and the entire team of the Tashkent market in Brooklyn, New York, for making these centuries-old traditional dishes with ingredients brought from Uzbekistan for you, our guests. And my special thanks go to Fidan from Azerbaijan Embassy, Maruer from Kazakhstan Embassy, Asel from Kyrgyzstan Embassy, and Rukshona from Tajikistan Embassy, who contributed immensely making today's Nawruz treats very special. Nawruz Mubarak, aziz do'stlar.
March 21 is a day of spring equinox. This is why Nawruz holiday has long been celebrated as a day of awakening, renewal, and rejuvenation of nature. Interesting holiday programs and folk festivals are organized in every region, city, and district of the country. Meals such as sumalak, khalam, kok somsa, and kok chuchvara become the highlight of the festive table. Nawruz in Uzbekistan cannot be imagined without national games. Kids fly kites in the sky. The holiday is even more fun and enjoyable with such games as Kurash, Chillak, and Beshtosh. Nawruz is not just a celebration of changes taking place in nature. It is also a lifelong resource that embodies thousand-year-old history, values, and traditions, and encourages new plans and noble goals.
Sigh. I was just transported for a moment there. All of the videos were so lovely. And I want to thank Ambassador Bahalov, all of the ambassadors. I want to say that I wish that may all of our nations be blessed with health and a blossoming of society. Nawruz Mubarak. And with that, I'm pleased to hand the program back over to Oxus Society President Edward Lim.
Thank you, Ambassador Campbell. Dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have been generously supported by the embassies in making a beautiful cultural program for you today. You'll be able to see performances by some of the best talents from the participating nations, even including the Minister of Culture from Uzbekistan, who will be singing for us today. So we're about to begin the cultural program that lasts around 24 minutes before concluding today's event. So please enjoy.
Hoş geldin Navruz, kemere katlas yapmış tabiat. Hoş geldin yeni gün, hoş geldin Navruz, çırayın şurada tapmış tabiat. Yaşlar diyarım, Özbekistan benim mengü baharım. Hoş geldin yeni gün, hoş geldin Navruz. Hoş geldin yeni gün, hoş geldin Navruz. Ey mengü akıbet mihir eyyamı. Hoş geldin yeni gün, hoş geldin Navruz. Bu dostluk koşuğu, dinçlik salamı. Hoş geldin yeni gün, hoş geldin Navruz. Kemere katlas yapmış tabiat. Hoş geldin yeni gün, hoş geldin Navruz. Çırayın şurada tapmış tabiat.
Okay.
Paris'inden Binafşe boy çiçek Paris'inden Hoş geldin yenge gün, hoş geldin Navruz Gemelek atlas yapmış tabiat Sonra çırgın bulup çapmış tabiat Kirayın şu yurtta tapmış tabiat Hoş geldin yenge gün, hoş geldin Navruz Hoş geldin yenge gün, hoş geldin Navruz Ey mangu akıbat mihir ayyamin Hoş geldin yenge gün, hoş geldin Navruz Bu dostlik hoşunu, gençlik salamı Hoş geldin yenge gün, hoş geldin Navruz Kemalek atlas yapmış tabiat Hoş geldin yenge gün, hoş geldin Navruz Kirayın şu yurtta tapmış tabiat Hoş geldin yenge gün, hoş geldin Navruz Kirayın şu yurtta tapmış tabiat
What a wonderful showcase of the diversity, but also the commonalities in culture across the region. I think we can all say that Minister of Culture Nazarbekov from Uzbekistan has a fantastic voice and is a great performer. So with that, I would like to thank the embassies of Afghanistan, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and particularly the Embassy of Uzbekistan for taking the initiative to organize today's fantastic event. I really think that this gathering of 7 nations signals the strengthening of ties within the region, which I think is a fantastic development. Thank you also to the representatives of the US government, particularly to Secretary of State Blinken, for speaking today and for giving their congratulatory remarks. And also thank you to the members of the business community for your remarks and for your continued work to strengthen ties between the United States and Central Asia and the Caucasus. And thank you also to the Meridian International Center for co-moderating the event with us today. So with that, on behalf of the organizers, I would like to thank you all for attending. We wish you a happy and prosperous new year. Nawruz Mubarak.